Hi everyone, I have some Sandie Sunday thoughts. I was wondering your thoughts on my thoughts. Look at my candle thing there, not working too well. So I was watching this vlog, can't remember which one it was, but they were talking about how to cut your grocery bill and how you could cook, if you make homemade over buying, I guess, like prepared foods or whatever, not quite sure, but how you can, I don't know if they use the word beat inflation or keep your budget the same or whatever, but I beg to differ, because, like, let's talk about soups. They were talking about soups. So, of course, we know the price of soup, that you buy a can of soup, is more money than it used to be, but basically, in really any kind of cooking or soups, making soups, there's a trifecta. There's onions, there's carrots, and there's celery. That's the trifecta. So let's say if you were making, I should really write notes. Let's see, if I was making, okay, say cream of broccoli soup. Let's even go a step further. Creamy cheddar cheese broccoli soup. So basically you would need broccoli, which costs a fortune. You would need cheese, which is outrageous. You would need, what's it called? Heavy cream, which is like way up there. Then you won't need all the trifecta. You'd need onions. If you want to put garlic, I don't put garlic in mine. And celery. Oh, and then broth. So unless you make your own broth, well, so far, if you go to the store, broth still is $1.99, at least organic, which makes no sense why the organic is so much cheaper in the store. The regular broth is like $3.79, and the organic is $1.99. I don't know, it makes no sense. But anyhow, to make that soup, even if you make a bunch and freeze it, it still doesn't work out cheaper. I wish it did. I remember back in the day when I had my first set of kids, as I call them, I would always, I always make everything from scratch pretty much. But I constantly did. So, I'd make a bunch of soup, and then I'd freeze some, and we'd eat some, and I mean, it was much cheaper. Plus, I like to cook from scratch. So, another soup would be chicken soup. So you would put, I don't know what you'd put, because the part of the chicken that I used to put, I would use the leg and the thigh when I make chicken soup. That is, I would pass out if I looked at the price. The next thing would be the chicken breast. And when you make soup, it's better to make it with a bone, because it gives you the better flavor. I've never used chicken thighs to make soup, but chicken breasts are outrageous. I told you about the chicken thighs. It was, I don't know, it's been so long since I gone to the store. I went there one day, but I didn't even look at the meats. It was like, I don't know, between $10 and $12 for 4 chicken thighs. That's outrageous. Used to be able to get them for $1.99. So let's say it's $12 for 4 chicken thighs if you were going to use that for soup. I never have. So you got that, and then you need your trifecta, your carrots, your celery, and your onions. And then, now this is taking consideration you have the spices at home. Now, if you got to buy spices, I don't know how people buy spices. They're outrageous. And then you would cook down the chicken in water, not broth. That would be very unwise, because you would be wasting all that broth. You can use, like, I like to use Knorr cubes, but they're getting up there in price. There's something called what's it called? It comes in a jar. Better than broth. Oh, I can't think of it. But that's pretty cost effective. I actually have one. I haven't used it yet, but still, that would help. But let's say you're using the broth. I like a lot of broth in my soup. So, you're making the soup, so you got the chicken. We're going to say we're using the thighs. Let's go on the higher side. $12. And then, we got water. And the carrots, onions, celery. I don't really know. You can't put a price on that, but it's a lot higher for each of those items. And then don't forget, if you want to have noodles in there, noodles have skyrocketed. Pasta has skyrocketed. And then if you either use the Knorr cubes, or they got the granules, or you use the broth out of the can or carton, or I think it's called Better Than Bouillon. I don't know what it's called. But anyhow, if you add it all up, it is not cheaper. It truly is not cheaper. Also, like if you were to make, I make the ziti dish, where you have ziti pasta. So I usually, when I make it, I make a big thing of it. So that would take 2 things of ziti pasta, which I haven't seen ziti pasta in a long time in the store. But pasta has skyrocketed. You put a big container of ricotta cheese. And let's see, I haven't made in a while. Then you put eggs. And then you put Parmesan cheese. We call it spaghetti cheese, the one you shake in. And then parsley, salt, pepper. And then a couple big jars of ragu, garden combination, whatever. But anyhow, that is unreal. When I figured the price of what it costs, and now, I should have wrote it down so I could break it down for you, but it's unreal. It just doesn't seem to me that making stuff homemade is cheaper than, I don't know, it just doesn't seem cheaper to me. And then making bread. I mean, bread is pretty simple. You have your yeast, you have a bit of sugar. If you do the yeast way, I can't stand my breads. I just put the yeast right into the thing. I don't have to make it what's it called? Proof it. I remember my mom used to put yeast with, I think, warm water and sugar in a little container. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. So we add that to my list. I can make gourmet meals, but I can't make pancakes, scrambled eggs, and I can't work with yeast. But the recipes I have, you just put the yeast right into with the bread and everything. But still, flour is a fortune. I mean, these people who are talking, they have like big families, and they probably go to these restaurant stores. They call them restaurant supply stores. So they buy like 50-pound bags of flour, and they probably get a good deal. So then it might be a good deal. But just to buy stuff here, I saw a bag of, well, flour is very hard to come by, I've noticed, in sugar. But flour is, oh my God, how much was it? It was a little package. I should look what size it was. Maybe it had to be maybe 16 ounces. So 1 pound of flour, it was almost $5. That's unreal. So it just, I don't know, it just doesn't, everything is just, it seems out of reach. I mean, people should be able to at least have the worst of the worst, like chicken thighs, but to pay that kind of money, and chicken thighs shrink down to, nothing. And even if you want to make a vegetable soup, say you want, I'm trying to do for you guys, I've never done it, a soup with cabbage in it. And that soup would have the probably the trifecta, and if you want to add garlic, that's gone up too. And then, the broth and the spices. Again, if you don't have the spices, then you're pretty much SOL. And I just forgot what I just said that I was going to make. I don't know, so we'll forget what I just said. I don't know. And then another soup, like a cream soup. So you need heavy cream. That's very expensive. And say if you're making a cream mushroom soup. So you'd have the mushrooms, which are a lot of money, and the onions if you want garlic. If you have spice, I would use garlic powder instead of buying the garlic. I mean, I would use what I have at home rather than go out and have to buy some extra. So you use all that, and then you got some flour, minimum flour to make a roux, so it will be thickened. And then you put in the, the heavy cream or half and half, whatever, and then you got your soup. It just doesn't seem. I haven't made anything yet, and if I do, hopefully I remember to kind of break it down into prices and see, but it just doesn't seem to me that the homemade stuff is cheaper. I mean, it's obviously not how it used to be, but it just doesn't seem like it's cheap unless you buy, like I say, 50-pound bags of flour. I've seen families, big families usually, they get the wheat themselves, and then they something do to it to make it into the flour. I have no idea about all that. I don't know anything, but that's what they do, and they go to these, it sounds like co-ops they go to. I don't know, they go somewhere and they say they divide up with other families. It's got to be a co-op. I don't think we have co-ops around here, but anyhow, so they make it themselves, so that may be, easier. But if you're someone that works full-time, when would you have time to do all this, I don't know. So what do you think? Do you think homemade is cheaper than, well, I don't know, where would you get ziti that's made? I guess frozen ziti, right? Soup in a can. I don't know, you can get a family-sized can of soup. I mean, when you make soup, it boils down anyhow, and I like a lot of broth in my soup. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Those are just a few ideas I was thinking about when you make homemade. Even these pies that I want to make, they're cream pies or no-bake pies. You use, like instant pudding, Cool Whip. Cool Whip is skyrocketed. It's either you use Cool Whip or you're going to use heavy cream and either regular sugar, it's called granulated sugar, or 10X, I call it 10X, or confectionery sugar. And then, just that itself, and then either if you make the pie crust or you buy it, it just still seems cheaper to buy a frozen, let's say it's a banana cream pie. That definitely, because I was pricing it out. So if you're making like a banana cream pie, it's cheaper to buy a banana cream pie frozen. I have not, like I said, I have not seen a sale on anything in the stores at all. Nothing's on sale, at least in our area. But definitely pies. I don't know, fruit pie maybe. I don't know. No, I don't think so, because if you bought, like I saw in the store, a can of cherries that you put in a pie that was almost $7. And then, I don't know, if you make a pie crust, maybe it's cheaper, but if you buy a pie crust, let's see, you're up to, so let's say $7 for the cherry filling, which I don't like cherry pie like that. If it was real cherries, I wouldn't mind it. But say the cherry pie filling, and if you buy the pie crust, so there's 2 of them in a package, so that's about another $5. That's $12. You'd use both crusts, one on the top and then one you'd lattice it across the top. $12. You can get a cherry pie frozen for a lot cheaper than $12. A pie that's made like in the bakery, probably not. It'd probably be about $12 or $14. So some things definitely I can say I've seen it with my own eyes are cheaper to buy. But I don't know, what are your thoughts about that? And what kind of stuff do you make? Do you make homemade bread and homemade soup and homemade cream pies, or you just buy them, the pies frozen and the soup off the shelf, and good luck finding soup? We're back to, I mean, there are soups, not a lot. The whole soup area is so little now, but you might be able to get soup, but not the soup you came in for. And was I talking about the broccoli? Did I talk about the cheese, adding the cheese? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not going to rack my brain over what I was trying to say. But anyhow, let me know what your thoughts are about, making soup and bread and cream pies. Is it cheaper to make it, or is it cheaper to, like the pies, buy them frozen? So let me know. Hope you're all doing well. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we're putting up videos. Be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. Be kind to yourself. Stay safe, and please continue to pray for the people across the ocean. It's just horrible to see what's going on there. It just breaks my heart. So for now, welcome to the new people. And thank you for all the people that have been here since day one or for a long time. And keep on coming back. And thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.